Representative Lauren Boebert recently debated her opponent, Trisha Calvarese, and apparently it didn't go well for her. Now, the debate was held at the Ravenna Golf Club in Littleton on Tuesday. It was a private debate, unfortunately not televised, but there's some video. Now, following it, Calvarese posted a couple of clips to her social media account accusing Boebert of having a meltdown. She said, quote, whether it was floundering to try to defend a disgraceful record on veterans or having no explanation as to why she missed crucial House votes, she was held accountable for her extremism. In one exchange, for example, during that debate, Calvarese went after Boebert for opposing a bill that provided benefits to veterans who were exposed to toxic burn pits. And so I want to show you some of the video that she had posted, and then we'll see if Boebert did melt down.
So I want to tell you a story, Representative Boebert. My dad was diagnosed with terminal kidney cancer, and I got 4 extra years of life with him, thanks to life-extending medication that his union retiree benefits covered. You voted to keep the medicine high and out of reach for millions of seniors that gave me 4 extra years of life with my father. That was a clear vote. You voted against it. If you're going to take care of folks, like what about our veterans, Lauren? Because you're talking about lots of cuts and how to pay for things. I think if you're going to be America first, you can't put veterans last. So I do just want to point to your vote that you voted against care for veterans exposed to cancer-causing toxins and burn pits during war. So we definitely have different priorities, because I believe we should take care of our veterans, always.
Are you done? All right. So when it comes to our veterans, I have absolutely put them first. In my first year, we were in the minority, and unfortunately, not all the legislation was great. And the omnibus bills have put in something really beautiful for our veterans. But again, not voting for something that we have 22 hours to read that's over 2,000 pages long. When that bill first came up, I was in the minority, and amendments were closed on the House floor. I could not give a Colorado voice to the men and women who have served in our military on that legislation. Because
that was one piece of legislation. What about cuts to the VA? You proposed significant cuts to the VA that would hurt veterans, caregivers, their families. It would hurt homeless vets. It would hurt telehealth for vets. Don't sit here and tell us because you voted against one bill that you somehow hurt veterans. Oh, no, thank you.
Okay, so unfortunately, that's all the video that is public right now. Again, this was a private debate. You had to actually pay to be there, which is ridiculous. Now, Calvarese is like, hey, why don't we actually have a public debate? That would be interesting. One of them, she suggested, be at the Buell Theater, which is where Boebert was infamously thrown out of for, vaping and groping her date. Now Boebert's like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to actually do a public or any more public debates. And actually said, well, apparently my opponent's not too, confident in her debate performance last time. Really? Because we can't even watch the full debate. Okay, all we have are a couple of clips not released by your campaign, because your campaign hasn't posted anything about about this debate. It seems like someone else is not too confident in her debate abilities and how this went. Because, look, what it looked like is Calvarese was stomping your ass. Just saying. I mean, that whole line of, I think if you're going to be America first, you can't put veterans last. That was brilliant. I loved it. And so, hell of a good line. And of course, Boebert looked rather uncomfortable there and didn't have good answers. So I don't know if there was like a meltdown, but from these videos, she didn't look good. Okay. Now, in a statement, Calvarese said that Boebert was responding for missing crucial votes related to the debt ceiling and then lied about it. Now, what was that about? In June of 2023, Boebert said that she had intentionally skipped a crunch House vote on suspending the debt ceiling as a no-show protest. However, in a statement, she said she was unavoidably detained and would have voted against the motion had she been present. So, wait, which one was it, Lauren? Was it a protest vote, or were you unavoidably detained? Just pointing those things out. Now, Boebert also defended her vote against the Inflation Reduction Act by saying that the best things that lawmakers in Washington, D.C. can do is stop spending your money. We all know that did not reduce inflation. But it actually did, though. Inflation has slowed down. That was kind of the whole point, was to slow down the rate of inflation. Now, that doesn't mean prices go down. Prices still go up. If prices went down, that would be called deflation, okay? Now, on inflation, in July, it showed for a fourth consecutive month to 3.2%, the lowest since April 2021. So, actually, inflation has decreased. Again, it's just the rate of how fast prices are going up, okay? Lauren is not only wrong about that, but she also opposes policies that would help families deal with the rate of inflation, mainly higher wages, right? So that's the way to defeat, to offset inflation, inflationary pressures, is to make sure that families are able to bring home more money, okay? Now, Boebert also called renewable energy extremely unreliable in that debate, which, again, is wrong. Hydropower, pretty reliable. Biomass, pretty reliable, okay? Wind and solar, reliable, but less so. I mean, and I say that because you have such things called batteries that can hold power. And of course, okay, so the way that renewable energy works is that you have many different ways to generate energy that all supplement each other, okay? When one type isn't available, the wind doesn't blow one day, or you got a cloudy sky, well, don't worry. You've got the geothermal, you got the hydroelectric, you get the biomass generators, you know, that'll cover, you got the batteries that will supplement the grid, things like that. That's how it works. That's how this energy mix actually works. It's not just, one single source of energy generation. No, it's multiple different sources, all renewable. So you're never going to run out of them, right? No, what's not reliable is depending on an energy source that is a finite resource that you end up, you will end up having to import from overseas if you're not already doing it. I mean, coal runs out. You have to import it from China. Oil runs out. You have to import it from Saudi Arabia. Things like that. And so, yeah, it's pretty foolish running on finite energy sources and making a plan to try to, make your energy grid dependent on sources that run out eventually. So it's just not a smart deal. Now, speaking of the government propping up one industry over another, which is another thing that Boebert had said during that debate, look at what Trump wants to do. And remember, Boebert, endorsed by Donald Trump, very, very MAGA. Now, Trump wants to prop up oil and coal even more than we already do. Okay? His plan is drill, baby, drill. Oh, okay, well, that's it. Now, I say that we already prop up coal and oil, fossil fuels, because the U.S. taxpayer in 2023 gave an estimated $20 billion in subsidies to fossil fuel companies that are, again, making record profits. Now, over the period between 2017 and 2022, profits from the top five U.S. fossil fuel companies reached $953 billion. It's not revenue, it's profit. Profit. Almost $1 trillion in profit. And worldwide, by the way, $7 trillion is the amount that they are subsidized all over the world, the entire fossil fuel energy sector across the entire globe. So, who's propping up what now? Just saying. Now, in 2023, by the way, Boebert also advanced a bill to saddle taxpayers the cost of cleaning up oil and gas wells on federal lands, which could cost between $2.9 to $17.7 billion. So that's what you and I would have to pay for an extremely profitable oil company having a spill on federal lands. She's fine, though, with propping them up because she personally benefited from it. Her ex-husband, Jason, made $478,000 in 2020 doing consulting for an energy firm. She, of course, also, her campaign gets donations from oil and gas, like pretty much all Republicans do. Okay? So, that said, with all that, Trish has been doing an excellent job pointing out Lauren Boebert's corruption, her lack of ties to the district, the fact she's a carpetbagger, and the fact that she's only been looking out for herself and voting against things that would actually help the average Coloradan in her district. So, and as far as, clowning Boebert, that's what she did. But, to be fair, that's pretty easy to do when your opponent is a clown. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.